I think that stress has become the bad boy of modern culture. How many of you, if you think about your last 2 weeks, can think of one thing, one person, or situation, or relationship that has caused you stress? Okay, a lot of us, right? I have to get this right. But what I want to suggest is that the stress response is not a bad thing. It's not the bad boy that it's been made out to be. We need our stress response in order to respond to threats that are bad, right? Something's coming at us. Our fight or flight response, we need that. We have to respond. The problem is when that response is activated all the time, when we're always feeling threatened by people, by situations, by our daily lives, that is a problem. And the problem with that is that it causes physical problems. How many of you have had a physical symptom associated with stress in the last month? Okay, again, very common. I'd like to invite you to close your eyes for a second and bring to mind that thing that you feel like is your stress-producing factory. Now, if you could open your eyes. If you've had a headache because of that stress-producing factory, or a neck ache, or where a lot of us Americans hold our stress between our shoulders, then you're normal. Diarrhea, stomach problems, breathing problems for asthmatics, they're all related to stress, right? But mindfulness tells us that it's not the stress that's the problem. It's not the thing that's coming at us. It's how we react to those things. And we have control of that. Now, that's a good thing and that's a bad thing because that puts it on us. Okay, so you'd think as a mindfulness teacher that I would be like Miss Relaxed and grounded. Well, anybody that knows me knows that I get pretty uptight and I work a lot. And so I've got 4 really good mindfulness teachers in my life, but sometimes they're a little bit irritating. My husband is the most mindful person I have ever met. Okay, he gets it naturally. I gotta work at it. And I get to do it at my job with research. Then I've got 3 kids that are also very good mindfulness teachers to me because they hold up in front of my face, hey, are you really doing what you say you're doing? There was one incident in particular. Here's my youngest son, Joseph. I'm out to lunch with Joseph. I feel like I'm trying to be a good parent. I want to spend some alone time with him because he's number 3. We go to lunch. We're eating. And I think we're having a good conversation and everything. And all of a sudden he says, Mom, are you there? Where are you? It was like getting hit with a bucket of ice water. Because you know what? Because he was right. I wasn't there. I don't know if I was making my grocery list. I don't know if I was thinking about what to make for dinner, a paper I had to write. I don't know what I was thinking about. But he deserved more. So that was very challenging to me. Okay, fast forward. In my professional career, I'm working for Ohio State Managed Healthcare, and they send me to a mindfulness training with the purpose of coming back and doing some mindfulness classes specifically for male-dominated departments at Ohio State, which I did. Okay, so what is mindfulness? Mindfulness means paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, in a very non-judgmental manner. John Kabat-Zinn is the guru of mindfulness. And he came up with mindfulness-based stress reduction that's at the University of Massachusetts Medical School, where they now have 30 years of empirical research showing that being in the moment, even when it's hard, is a good thing. There's inflammatory results that are attached to this. There's wound healing happens faster. People are more in their lives when they're there for their lives. Okay, how do you teach about that? I use 2 images. So working at Ohio State, parking, a big issue, right? So people getting out of the parking garage are always frustrated, especially people that have to pay to get out of the parking garage. So the parking arm is one image that I find very helpful to teach what mindfulness, the contribution it can make to our lives. I'm coming out of the garage at 5 o'clock, and there's 2 cars in front of me. And the very car at the beginning, he's trying to put in his credit card to get the parking arm to go up. And he's focused on this, and he can't get it. And me and the guy behind him were watching this. The second car, the guy gets out of his car, he slams the door, and he says, "It's open! It's been open!" Okay, I was watching that. I didn't see it was open. And the guy didn't see it was open because he was focused on his frustration, okay? So mindfulness, it can help us see the openings in our lives that are actually there. The second image that is very helpful is a hurricane, because some people view their lives as a hurricane, stuff coming at them all the time, totally out of control. But we all know that the worst damage in a hurricane is around the periphery of the hurricane. What people forget is on the inside of a hurricane, there's this place, the eye of the storm, that is very calm, and it's open, and there's space there. So this is the same picture of the same hurricane, but viewed from within. Now, it's not like you want to get away from your hurricane because you want to live your life. But we don't want to be at the periphery. We want to be able to come to that place of groundedness in space inside of it. How do you do that when we have so many obligations with work, school, family, life balance? Very difficult. Well, some people have figured it out. At Ohio State, when I look outside of my window, here's what I see. Here are the construction workers, because it's in their contract that they have to do yoga before they start their day. And do you know why they do that? They do that because their safety record has gone up. When they are more aware of getting their muscles warm and limber and being aware of what they're doing with their body, they don't get hurt. They go home with 10 fingers and toes. So every subcontractor, it's written into the contract, they have to do that. Okay, inside my window, I have come up with a little stress reduction program that's a low-dose version of the mindfulness that came out of University of Massachusetts. It's an 8-week program where I go to the work site or I go to the classroom so that people don't have to leave their own environment to learn this stuff. So we meet once a week for an hour, and then every day the deal is they have to listen to one of the tracks on the CDs to take them into the eye of the hurricane. So it's called Mindfulness in Motion. And let's see if this will work. This is significant here, that half of it is black and white. Actually, the artist who did this, one of my students, is in the audience. Black and white on one side and color on the other, because we always have this choice, black and white or the gradations of color. Black and white, or maybe there's some wiggle room there. Maybe there's some things in my life that are really good that I'm just not seeing. So these are the tracks, the different tracks that people can choose every day, and they can do them right from their computer at work, which people like. There's 4 elements to the program. One is community, because we know when we do something together, 1 and 1 doesn't make 2, it makes 3. We come up with more because we're doing it together. Second thing, we talk about mindfulness concepts. What is your stress-producing factory? If you can reframe the stress If your stress doesn't become the filter through which you see everything, and your stress just moves out into the landscape of your life, you're in a better place. Third thing, yoga. I'm a yoga teacher, so of course I'm a mover. I have to move my body before I can quiet my mind. And you know what I found? That's true with adults, and that's true with kids. The fourth thing is this relaxing music composed by my husband. And it really has a conditioned response on the participants in the program, because they hear this music in the background during the weekly meetings. And then every day when they put their CD in, they're able to drop quicker into the relaxation. So it becomes a conditioned response. Okay, so I tested this program on 230 faculty and staff at Ohio State, and we got great results. We had decreased stress, increased mindfulness, but the best result that people loved, it was increased sleep. So the head of the intensive care unit, the critical care nursing person, calls me up and she says, we need to do this in the intensive care units. And the reason why? Because not only is the patient stressed, the family of the patient is stressed, but it's also the workers who are in there every day in this environment who are stressed. So that's what, when she first said that, I thought, oh my goodness, you want me to go into the unit and do relaxation when all these people are really sick? And she said, yeah, because our nurses deserve it. So that's what I did. So for 8 weeks we met, they called it their stress camp. And Ohio State paid for these nurses to take care of themselves for 1 hour a week. They felt so supported, which I think is a central piece of the program. It was feasible, and we got great results. I couldn't believe it. The biology, the change in biology in their salivary alpha amylase, which is a marker of their stress response, reduced by 40% between the intervention and the control group. So not only did they feel less stressed, but their biology confirmed it. This was also highly correlated with emotional exhaustion. So not only did their bodies feel better, but emotionally they were more able to go to work. Their quality of sleep, everybody talks about, ooh, I slept better. Everybody loves that. Their stress decreased, and we had a highly significant work satisfaction. So of course, the nurses were happy and the hospital was happy. Okay, can this only work in America? A researcher from Denmark calls me up and he says, hey, I want to try this over here in a bank in Denmark. And well, I don't know. It probably would work in a bank in America. Could it work in a bank in Denmark? I don't know. So he translates the CD set into Danish, and with 57 bank employees does the same program, and what does he find? Exactly the same things. Our results were exactly the same. Very weird. Okay, can this work with kids? So I knew it could work with adults, but was it possible, since we did it during the day in the workplace, could we do it during the day but in the classroom? Well, the answer was yes. In the city of Columbus, we worked with 4 different classrooms. I'll just show you this little video as we're doing this. We started with the kids with the yoga movement because it centered them in their bodies. These kids were wonderful. When we'd start the weekly thing, though, the fighting, there was some behavior problems that, when I look at this video now and they're all relaxed and laying there, I think, wow, I was so lucky to be able to experience that with those kids. Their hyperactivity, as gauged by the teachers, decreased between the intervention and the control classroom, but what the teachers really loved was their attention increased. The kids were more able to learn because they had moved their body and they had gone into the center of the hurricane of their life. We added, so on on a different project, actually, that was in this room, we had 157 kids from Hilliard and Columbus Catholic schools who then, we added an obesity part to teach the kids on how to be aware of what they ate, because obesity and stress is so tied. And we put it on DVDs, and we implemented it in the classroom, and we had, we had 8 classrooms that went through it, 4 controls, 4 intervention. And the intervention classrooms learned how to read the labels. They increased their vegetables and their fruits. They ate less sugar. And in terms of behavior, the kids were 4 times more likely to attend to what their teachers wanted them to attend to. So we were just thrilled with this. Okay, so kids, adults, it doesn't matter. The key is to build resilience and to see what's there, to see the good things that are in our lives, or to see the bad things, but know that it's our reaction to them that can either make them worse or not so bad. Okay, so we've got all the 4 essential elements in this room. We've got the music going. We're gonna do just a second of yoga, and we have the community of 600 people here. Can we turn that music down just a little? That would be great. So I'd like you to join me so you can get a little taste of what I do in this program. So if everybody can put their feet flat on the ground and move your buttocks as far back as possible in the chair. And I'd like to invite you to close your eyes, because this would be easier for me without 600 pairs of eyes. So if you feel comfortable closing your eyes. And I'd like you to just put your arms up. So reach up with as much tension as you can. I know that sounds funny to bring tension, but do that. And then drop your arms. One more time. Reach up. And then drop down. Dropping your hands so that your fingers are heading down towards the floor. So your hands are not on your lap, but they're at your sides. Your feet are flat on the ground, and your back is relaxed into the chair. Bringing your attention to your feet and to your calves. Feeling the weight of your thighs drop into the chair. Relaxing your stomach. Really relaxing your stomach. Noticing how on each breath, your chest rises and falls. Gently bringing your shoulders up towards your ears and bringing them up there with a lot of tension now, holding the tension between your shoulder blades. Hold it up towards your ears, all the tension of your week, and then drop it. One more time, bring your shoulders up towards your ears, but this time try to reach the ceiling. Hold it, and then drop it down. Notice your breath, and relax the muscles of your face. Bring your hands to your lap. Bringing to mind what you noted at the beginning, what you said was the biggest stress-producing factor for you in the past 2 weeks. See that at the periphery of your hurricane. It's hard not to get caught in that periphery and all the action and the wind blowing. So see that thing out by the periphery. And then think to yourself, what brings you into the place of the eye of the hurricane where it's open and calm? Is it enjoying a cup of coffee? Is it connecting with a coworker who's got your back? Is it feeling supported by your spouse, your significant other, your children? Why is it having the person at Starbucks smile at you? What brings you back into the center? Just notice how that feels to be in the center. Take a deep breath in and release as you open your eyes. And I hope the rest of this great day is spent awake and in the moment.